Alright, so I had to cut the video, so it'll act right. So this will be part two. So where I leave off at, I had reminded him about her doing that, Cindy threatening me for Brenda's birthday money, after he had suggested deducting out of my paychecks the $1,800. So what I was saying to him before he cut me off, I was saying I'm not going to agree to that, and y'all take what you want to take and say, oh well, she agreed to it, So before I could get that out, he said, "You still talking about that?" Now, mind you, he had never came to me and never addressed her doing that. So apparently he didn't have a problem with it. People would say, "Oh, well, don't be mad at him. That wasn't his idea," but he wasn't stopping it either. And they collected every year. So, like I said, I declined, and he said, "Well, that pretty much terminates your employment with us. You can go ahead and proceed with the exit interview with Brenda." So I said, "Okay." So a lot of people try to defend that or say, "Oh well, that's not why," or whatever. But the other people that got called in, they gave in and let them do that to them. And I said no. So a lot of, again, like, people would, defend that and say, well, maybe it was for another reason or something like that. It wasn't, because he would come up and, he had eventually started, this was one other thing that had kind of bothered me about them, is like, he started just snapping at me for whatever reason. I don't know if somebody put something in his ear or if it was because I wasn't in his face. Now, mind you, I was a huge Winans fan. I'm an 80s baby, 80s and before, probably appreciate it. But, and I had mad respect for Pastor Winans, but I wasn't a groupie either, so I don't know if that annoyed him or something, like, because a lot of people, even, grown men running up tying his shoes and stuff like that, he started just, this was like the last year and a half, he just would just keep snapping at me. I would come in the break room, "Hey y'all," and he a lot of the times they wouldn't respond. And he just started saying, "Halakaya." And I was like, I'm thinking, what was that? So by the fourth time he did that, he said that, "Halakaya," and I said, "Hi, Pastor Winans," or "Hi, Pastor," like that. So he like, "You got to speak when you come in the room." So I'm looking like, what? So they tried to use that against me in evaluation. So apparently that was why he was doing it. Because like I said, it didn't start when I first got there. Typically when you first get somewhere, you're shyer. I'm kind of shy. People don't think so because I got jokes and, can kind of push people up off me. But I can be, So that didn't start when I got there, or why she don't speak, or this and that, or whatever, where it's room for misunderstanding or whatever. It was like the last year and a half. So I'm getting my evaluation, and I scored pretty well on it. So it's not like maybe she got fired for something else. No, that wasn't it. This is my evaluation. Now, 4 being the highest number. That was the highest number, so I don't know if I'm holding it right. This 4 is all the way down. A couple 3s. A few 3s in there. So, the other supervisor that I didn't name, she said, well, I really don't have anything bad to say. She do what I ask her, and, she do her job, and I'm going to stand up. I'm about to stand up to leave. They're like, oh, yeah, you're all set. I go to get up. Cindy's like, oh, it is one thing. And she's like, Pastor says you don't speak when he speaks to you. And I told her, I said, he's been doing that a lot lately. And I don't know why, because and he will, oh, well, I've seen you do it too. And which I was expecting, because they would walk past her, or her sister would walk past and speak. And I'm watching them literally try to listen for my response, because he didn't throw that out there. Well, I saw you do it and all that stuff. But anyway. And so she was like, well, maybe you need to work on your volume. Now, I've been told I have a quiet voice at times. So when I started noticing them ignoring, I was like, maybe they didn't hear me. So I would say it louder on purpose. That wasn't a problem. So she was like, well, that's in negative interpersonal skills, trying to make it count for something on evaluation. But this is what the evaluation actually says. Describe employee strengths. Lakaya is very reliable and possesses strong interpersonal skills. She normally displays a cooperative attitude in adapting to new directives given by her supervisor. Lakaya has great knowledge of chemicals/chemical use, and she is very helpful in training new staff members. Lakaya is very good with handling the inventory for cleaning supplies and chemicals. She has done a great job cleaning the sanctuary building and understands her job responsibilities. So, that was not why I got fired. Me being a bad employee and, trying to pay me, I guess, trying to pay me to be a neck roller, I guess, because that's probably what people would believe if they didn't know me. But that wasn't it. So after I got fired, I of course started falling behind in rent. Now, I had actually paid rent that day, then got told that we were having this meeting. So February, I paid the rent with my last check. March, I paid the rent with my tax refund, which was like $528. So now, mind you, when I go up there to turn it in for March, Renee or Nene, she's who collects the rent. And now Brenda can collect it too, or Cindy or whatever can collect it too. So I go up there to pay it, and if anybody knows where Perfected is located, it's at Nevada and Van Dyke at the corner. So the police precinct is on Nevada down the street. So I was passing it coming to Perfecting. And I said, hey, I'm passing the precinct. I'm about to pull up. So she, I'm leaving at 5. So and it is writing the receipt ain't gonna take but a second. Just to be a headache. And before I had got fired, she would do that then when I would come for the rent. Come pay the rent sometimes. Can you come back later? can you come back tomorrow? Come back tomorrow. Oh, why'd you wait till 4:30? I'm like, I was trying to give you, you keep, like, you busy, so, you know what I mean? So, she was doing that kind of stuff. So so April comes. By the end of April, I hadn't got a job, yet. I reach out to Brenda to, ask her for documentation, about me being late, like my rent being late and how much I owe, how often, so I can take it to my worker, because I had to get on welfare. I don't know if I stated that in part one, but I had applied for unemployment, and Perfecting opted out of paying into it because they're a church and all that. I had appealed because at first they didn't report wages. So I appealed, and then that was their judgment, that since they're a church, they can opt out. So I was going to give the documentation to my worker for rental assistance. So she like, you can give that to Renee. She handles this and that. I'm like, I'm reaching out to you because it's an issue with her, So I'm like, you know what? Eventually, they're going to have to send me something, So fast forward, months pass to the end of September. And I'm thinking this whole time, like, are they crazy? You can't tell me that nobody noticed that it's chunks of $500 not getting paid somewhere. Y'all having business meetings, but nobody's noticing that. So Brenda texted me saying, I don't know if this video about to time out yet, so I might cut this for a second. At the point where Brenda texted me about the house.